he sends us things in the time that we are ready for them.
Yes.
So if something is not working out and you keep trying and it's not working out, then I'm not saying give up on it. Just keep it on maybe put it on the back burner for a minute, focus on something else, and it might be just you and yourself and what you're doing in your life. And are you really doing everything that you can to manifest and to claim these things and make them happen? And then you say, oh, wow, you know what I'm not doing enough of is centering myself and focusing. I'm just kind of so anxious for this to happen that I'm not doing my very best at it, and it ain't time.
Yeah. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this episode.
This video was sponsored by BetterHelp.
If you're like me, you've just been introduced to this whole thing called anxiety. For years, I didn't know what it was. I didn't think that I even experienced it. But in the past few years, I've definitely experienced anxiety on a whole new level. And it was then that I realized that I needed to talk to someone. If you're like me and you don't want to talk to your friends about everything, you don't want to talk to your family members, or you're just not really sure how to put language behind what you're feeling, I have something for you. It's called BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an app that you can download straight to your phone. It's super easy. They're going to ask you questions about how you're feeling, what areas you feel like you need help in, and then within 48 hours, they will assign a licensed therapist to you, specifically for your needs. And what I love about this, if you're busy like I am, you can take this anywhere you go, right on the road with you. All you have to do is download the app, BetterHelp, and you can even get a discount using my discount code, www.betterhelp.com/Crystal Renee. Let's all get better together with BetterHelp. Hello and welcome to this episode of Keep It Positive, Sweetie. Guys, I am so excited because KIPS is taking LA. That's right. I'm meeting up with some of my favorite people here in the Los Angeles area, and I cannot wait for you to see what we have in store. Right now, we are in 13 Loon. It is a store founded by Nikeo Greco. The store has 90% of the products are founded by BIPOC. 13 Loon, thank you so much for allowing us to use this amazing space. If you're in the Los Angeles area, make sure you guys pull up. Tina Knowles is a businesswoman, fashion designer, philanthropist known for establishing brands like House of Darion, Miss Tina by Tina Knowles, and recently launched the Cécred hair care line with her daughter, Beyoncé. Hello and welcome to this episode of Keep It Positive, Sweetie. I'm Renee Hayslett, and today I have with me Miss Tina Knowles. Thank you so much.
Oh,
seriously.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I know you're busy and you got a lot going on, so just your time means a lot.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So I want to first talk about the day I first met you. I don't know if you remember this, but we were backstage for Tyler Perry's Madea Farewell Tour here in LA. And I was in the back waiting on Tyler to come out, and he comes out of the room and he goes, "Come here." I didn't know who was in the room.
Really?
I had no idea. He was like, "Come in here," and I walked in, and it's you,
all
BJ,
of us. Yeah.
And I'm like, "What? Hello." But you were so sweet from the moment I met you, and every time I see you, it's always warm greetings, and I appreciate that.
Oh,
But yeah, I always like to tell how I met the person.
Somebody, of course.
Yeah, it was so fun. Yeah, that was a memorable night, to say the least.
I remember that night. Yeah, the play was really good.
So good, so good. I always try to pop in and see him when he's on the road.
Yes.
Yeah, just to check on him. Yeah, but that was a fun time. Everyone knows you. We were introduced to you in the 90s as Beyonce's mom. But I want to know who Tina Knowles is and where Tina comes from. So tell us just a little bit about you.
Well, you know, I grew up in Galveston, Texas in the South, and grew up really poor. Found out later that my parents bartered for me to go to private school.
Really?
She did all the sewing for the church, and my dad chauffeured the nuns, and you know, we were like indentured servants for them, which wasn't the best experience for me, but it prepared me for a lot in my life, and I appreciate their sacrifice. Just grew up in Galveston, this little island, and so it's like a tourist town. It was fun growing up there, and you know, I got into makeup early. That was my first job. I was a makeup artist, real job. And just wanted to do something in beauty.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait to get out of that little one-horse town because it's about that big. And, you know, my journey has just been, I call it God giving me the tools. He just filled my toolbox with all these experiences in my life that helped me to do everything I'm doing today.
Wow.
So I'm not, you know, I went to a short time to college, but, you know, I've been able to have an education in life and in experiences and travel that I don't think I could have paid for.
Yeah.
So it's been really great. I mean, that makeup, modeling some, doing hair. I had a hair salon for yeah.
Headliners, was it called?
Headliners,
Yes,
yes,
yeah.
for many, many years. And it was just a great experience because I got to make women feel beautiful, which is my favorite thing in the world. And it was a positive space for women to support each other and network before we knew what networking was.
Right.
And, you know, I've watched your podcast, and what I love about it is the positivity. Because there's so much negativity right now. I can hardly stand some of the podcasts that people have just to sit down and tear people down and put out all this negative, lying information. A lot of it about my family. So to see something like this positive, even the name of it just makes me happy. So it was important that I come and do this because we should support these positive things because they help us. The other stuff hurts us.
It does. Oof.
Yeah, the negativity hurts us, and it doesn't do anything for anybody's self-esteem. It's crab in a barrel mentality, and this is amazing what you're doing.
Thank you so much, Miss Tina. I appreciate that. So you talk about the negative media. I, just because I'm really pretty new to success, and I didn't understand what I was signing up for. When, and I'm telling you, it took me to probably this year, and this is going on 4 years that I've really been known, that I'm finally to the point where I can be like, you don't know me, I'm not going to take it personal. But in the beginning, it really, really hurt.
It hurts.
Yes.
And even, I mean, I've been in the business for, you know, dealing with this business for over 20 years, and some things just go too far.
Yes.
So I'm quiet and I'm cool about it, but you know, you mess with my grandbabies, you mess with my children. You will speak up. You lie on my children, I will speak up because I think it's important to have that balance. It is. And I think that something has to, you just can't keep taking it, you know, even though you know that it's not true and all of that, but some things are below the belt and they are just unacceptable.
Yeah, and I love that about you. You will speak up. I'm like, tell her, Mama Tina, for real, because there's moments where I see you just kind of let things fly under the radar, but when you need to speak up, you do. Yeah. And I appreciate that. Yeah. No, that's real. But yeah, I can empathize with you on that because it does hurt. Yeah, especially if you're not used to it, and then some things like, you don't even know me. Like, how do you
and they just blatantly lie and get away with it, you know?
That's not fair.
Yeah,
that is so true. You talked about growing up and that your mom was a seamstress and they bartered for you to go to private school. Did you, I always look at my past and the journey that God has put us on, and then how everything that we learned along the way ends up
in your toolbox, right?
Literally. So you made all the, used to make wardrobe for the Destiny's Child. And I thought that was so cool. I'm like, oh my goodness, her mom makes all these outfits. That was so cool. But it's amazing now hearing the backstory that your mother was also a seamstress. So,
yeah, she was a seamstress. And also, you know, just even like, I think about it in my modeling, you know, I was able to teach the girls how to walk and how to present themselves and how to look good in their clothes and that type of thing. From, you know, my hair salon, just doing interviews and that type of thing. Everything that I've ever learned and I've done in my life, I've been able to apply it to them. You know, so it's been great.
And you've done it very well. We see it. Yes. I'm really good friends with Angie.
Yes.
Your niece. And I see, and she plays in a salon on a show that we're on together, Sisters. And it's so cool how like we'll be studying together and she'll talk about what's going on in the scripts, and she goes, this isn't right. We wouldn't do this. I was raised in a salon.
She was raised in a salon. Yeah, she was right there.
Yes, I love that. And I feel like salons are so much a part of our history as Black women.
It's therapy. It's spiritual. it's camaraderie. It's just woman power.
It
you know?
is, yeah. Now, fast forward, you have your own hair care products named Cécred.
Yes.
With your daughter Beyoncé.
Actually, they're Beyonce's products.
It's
I
Beyonce.
just, yeah.
It seems like it's
I'm
you.
working with it. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, of course, I've had a lot to do with it, but yeah,
that's
it's her
amazing.
product.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So, what has that been like for the family? Because it seems like it's a collective project.
It absolutely is. From on down to testing on Blue and Rumi and you know, everybody in the family and their input, but mainly the experience from my salon, because we got to get years and years of experience, and I knew what was needed and what was missing in the market, because you know, when I had my salon, I had to buy high-end white products and mix them with things that I knew that we needed for our hair, like olive oil and egg whites and avocado. So Angie can tell you I was always mixing up these concoctions, and so this started a long time ago.
Wow.
But I feel like we needed one product that you could get the high-tech science and all of those ingredients, and somebody that understood mixing those together in one product, because you can't have one without the other. And education, just a lot of education about how to use the products and how to balance protein with moisture and things that we take for granted, but people don't know.
I'm gonna have to come by and you can do my hair
You
when I
gotta
take
come
these
by,
braids
girl.
out.
I can't wait.
Yes, get your hands in these. I got a lot of hair now.
I know you do. I know you do.
Oh yeah, because I think Angie, she's like, I'm gonna send this picture. She said, take a picture and send it so I can send it to my auntie. It's a lot of hair, so I feel sorry for anybody who has to wash it and comb through it.
No, it'll be a pleasure.
Thank you so much. A lot of people think things like that happen overnight. How many years did it take for you guys to really get it down to a science?
You know, it's funny because I say that it took probably 20 years, but we've been working on the product for 6 years. And we worked on it for a while and then we stopped because it's a very time-consuming thing when you are, you know, anybody can go and get some products and say, this is what I want the product to do, this is what I, but not with this bunch, because we grew up, you know, they grew up in a hair salon, and I've studied all the science of I knew what I was looking for. So where as people send products back maybe 3 or 4 times, because it's very expensive to produce, and for you to go through all the scientific tests and all that, and then they give the product to us, and B would say, I don't have enough slip in it.
Yeah, we gotta have that slip.
It's not moisturizing enough. You know, and I would be like, how much protein is it an easily absorbable protein? Will it be easy for people to use? Like, it's so many things that go into hair products. They are not like makeup.
Right, where you can just slap a name on it.
Yeah, you put your name on it, and it's kind of the same ingredients. You have to come up with your ingredients to make this, and it's a science. So, and our testing has been so extensive. Like, we test and test and test, and then we bring it into our test salon, and we test it on our people and ourselves. So it's been a long process, but I couldn't be more proud of it. And we have so many products coming out because every time there's a need, we think, oh my God, you know, we get feedback every day. I did a Zoom this morning with about 700 stylists.
Wow.
And the questions that they come up with and the things that they want to know, I'm like, oh wow, we need to work on a product for that because there are so many needs.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And there's so many different hair types.
Yes.
I know for me, my bathroom, my shower is full of different products. It's not just one thing works on my hair. So I have to mix this with this, and
and
to
that's
really,
okay. As long as the products intertwine and they work with each other.
Some
but
of them,
if you can find a line that you like a lot of things in it, especially the foundation, that's why it's called the foundation collection, because you know, the foundation of healthy hair is you know, you balancing protein with moisturizers and oils, and we need butters in our hair. It's complicated in textured hair, but the great thing is we knew that if we conquered textured hair, that it will work on anybody.
Right.
Because we're the hardest.
We are.
You know, our different hair textures, there's so many different hair textures.
It is.
And our hair is more thirsty, it's more dry, it's more fragile.
Yeah, when I put, my hair holds on to water.
Water.
Like, it takes forever for it to dry if I just, yeah. So I always, like, when they're like, oh, your hair's still wet, I'm like, I know, and it's like 24 hours later.
Well, you got a lot of hair.
Right.
That's half the part.
Yeah, that's so true. We talk about the journey that it took to get to where you are now with the hairline, but also I feel like that applies with life.
Yes.
And there's different parts of life. Has there been any moment where you're like, God, I'm ready for this to come to fruition, but it's taking too long? And what did you do in those moments where you felt like, all right, Lord, what's happening here?
I don't have, I have to honestly say I have not had a lot of moments like that. And I think it's because I always have 5 projects I'm doing.
I know that's right.
You know, it's
Yeah.
always so many things going on that he sends us things in the time that we are ready for 'em.
Yes.
So if something is not working out and you keep trying and it's not working out, then I'm not saying give up on it. Just keep it on maybe put it on the back burner for a minute, focus on something else, and it might be just you and yourself and what you're doing in your life. And are you really doing everything that you can to manifest and to claim these things and make them happen? And then you say, oh, wow, you know what I'm not doing enough of is centering myself and focusing. I'm just kind of so anxious for this to happen that I'm not doing my very best at it, and it ain't time.
Yeah, that's
You know?
real. Yeah.
But it's always so many things going on in my life that, you know, sometimes things have taken a long time. It took a long time, and this isn't even me, but with Destiny's Child is a perfect example of it. It took from the time they were 10 till they were 15,
Wow.
like 5 years, and that's a lifetime when you're that young.
It is.
And they lost on Star Search, and they got dropped by the first person, then they got dropped by the second person. But anything worth having is worth sticking in there. But sometimes you got to go back and regroup and make yourself better.
Yes.
And it's not the world, it is you.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Destiny's Child and taking 5 years to get to a stable position, what are some things or principles that you instilled in the girls at a very young age to say, hey, I know this is tough, and you're probably like, Mom, why isn't this happening right now?
Yeah.
Because I know we look at your daughters and be like, whoa, you know what I'm saying, they've made it, but what are some of those things that you instilled in them as they were growing up?
To just, you know, what my parents taught me that's so valuable is that nothing comes easy good. I mean, nothing good comes easy. Like, you got to work for it.
Yeah.
And if you want to be successful, it's no shortcuts. You got to put in the work.
Yeah.
You got to put in the training. And for them, you know, losing, and they were very talented, but they just weren't ready.
Yeah.
And so it came when it was time to come. They were too young.
Wow.
And so I would always say to them, just go back and work harder. You know, just regroup and take a look. And in the meantime, have fun and balance it.
Yeah.
Don't make that, you know, people get so caught up in what they want to accomplish that they don't have any fun, they don't have any family time. That's not good either. You
That's
got to
so
balance
true.
it. And you got to balance it with whatever your spirituality and your higher power is. Make them a part of it. It's so important.
It is. It is. Speaking of spirituality, you have done a lot of partnerships with your pastor back in Texas. What has your faith and spirituality, how has it guided you through your life?
Oh my God. I just know that nothing good everything good that happens in my life that I believe that it is sent by God, you know, and it's like, my parents were, you know, they were devout Catholics, and one thing they taught me is that that's a part of the whole picture. If you don't have God or spirituality, or like I said, a higher power, I'm not saying one particular religion over, I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about somebody that when everything is going wrong, you can lean on, other than your mama and your sister and your brother, because we're only here for a time, but God is always with you, you know, and I was taught that from an early age, and I think that has guided me through that, and also to whom much is given, much is required. So I was taught very early to tithe, to give back, to balance it, and there are times in my life when I got away from that, you know, and I'm like all about myself, especially in my 20s. I'm like, you know, I'm popping, I'm going out, I'm partying, I'm having fun. And it was not about giving back.
Absolutely, yeah.
And those times in my life were challenging, and they were harder.
You can see it,
and, and you can see it. And I can see when I get away from centering myself, away from my prayers, away from my giving back and taking the time to do that, that things don't go so well. So, you know, I believe that to be true for myself. And so I just try to keep it where I give back constantly. I try to be positive. I try to be, you know, a good person. And it's just worked for me because things just come to me all the time. I've never been broke. I've never been, you know, had really, really bad financial times, and I believe that that's because I tithe.
Yes,
you know?
yes. No, I'm telling you, I have there was a moment in my life where it was really, really hard for me, and to the point where tithing was a struggle because I'm like, Lord, I really ain't got it to give.
Right.
You know, and I remember I think I was making $600 every 2 weeks.
Wow.
And this is when I first moved to Atlanta to pursue music and acting. So this was 2009, not that long ago. And I remember sitting in church and I was like, all right, Lord, I'm gonna give you this $60, you know what I'm saying? But I know I can do a lot more with this. And the very next day, a friend of mine was like, hey, I got $600 for you.
That's
I said,
what I'm talking about.
my Lord. I said, okay, I get it.
100%,
Literally,
100-fold.
And it's crazy how he will, as soon as you put your faith in him and give him what, because all of it's his anyway.
That's right.
But when you give him what he asked for, he's gonna continue to provide.
Right.
And those moments where I was not giving, I even hired my manager, Dinorah, because I saw that she had made a post about tithing.
Right.
And I was like, if she tithes, I was like, I know I can trust her to manage me and my money and all those things.
Right.
Because if you don't think that's important, then I really can't trust you.
You don't know what to tell them,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's interesting because when I was little, we were very poor. And I was told all the time, we can't afford it. Like every time my mom, I would say, we can't afford it. Because that was always, we can't afford, you know, your clarinet for you to be in the band. We can't afford you to go to dance class. We can't afford all the things that I wanted to do. And you know, but my mom would put that money in church every Sunday, and I'll be like, you know what I could do with that money? And you're always saying we don't have money, but you always put money in church. We're poor. We can't afford to put the money in church. And she said, Teeny, that is, they call me Teeny. She said, that is how we make it. That's how we eat. That's how we live. And you got to understand that, you know, that's how we're making it.
Yes.
And, you know, when I think back on it, my dad was sort of disabled because he had no hearing in his left ear and he couldn't see in his right ear, right eye, because he was in a mine explosion. Oh, wow. So he could only work certain jobs at his job. And there were times when we got $45 a week, which is what they called it pennies, but it's unemployment. Because if it wasn't work, you could apply for unemployment. $45 a week with a family of 7 people. And we made it all the time because, and so I didn't understand it when I was young. I was still pissed. But when I got older, I understood that that's what she was talking about. Because how did we manage to live and be very fashionable? Even though we didn't have any money, we were sharp all the time. And we never went hungry. And I really didn't even realize how poor I was till I got older. So that's how we made it.
Wow, I love that. That is beautiful. That's beautiful. There's other things that you've done besides hair, having your own hair salon, but you were also big in fashion.
Yes.
You had the House of Dinorah and Miss Tina by Tina Knowles. How exciting was that to take everything that you learned from your mom and create your own lines?
Oh, it was so much fun. You know, House of Dinorah was amazing because it was really kind of was born because of the fans asking, where can we get this? And we want the clothes. And it was such a fun time for us. And, you know, it's defunct now because we decided to give it up because we just didn't have the right partners and they just had a whole different direction for the brand than we did.
Wow.
They wanted it to be very junior. They wanted it to be fast fashion with logos that big everywhere, and you know, it just got to the point where we didn't enjoy it.
Right.
But it was a very successful brand.
I definitely have.
You had some?
What?
Right,
yes, I did. And it made my booty look good.
That's right, because the jeans were darted. They were the first darted jeans, and I took all those tricks of tailoring from my mom and put them in the jeans. And I don't think it's any. They were some of the top jeans to fit our behinds.
They were. Yeah, they were
and
made
to give
for
you
us.
a nice shape, you know. But But yeah, it's passion. I've always had a passion for fashion. My nephew Johnny and I used to design our own clothes. We were always voted the best dress. We were, you know, just always sharp. And that's the funny thing. Being that poor made me more creative.
Yes.
You know, so my mom's excuse was always, well, you can't have the whatever the jeans were. Or jeans weren't the big thing, but like certain styles that I wanted, and she was like, yours is much better because it's more creative. And I'll be like, she just telling me that because she don't want to spend the money to buy it for me. But it turned out to challenge us to really not just go to the stores and buy stuff, but to look in Vogue magazine, you know, the top magazine, and try to copy those things. And so it gave me a really great knowledge of fashion, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. Now, do you have any plans to create another line?
No.
You done waiting? She's like, no.
Fashion is, you know, it's really, really hard. I love these products because the products are transforming people's hair. Like, I just can't wait till you use it. You'll see the difference. And
no, I already have it. I've seen the difference. Even with the deep conditioner in between my protective styles, the rice water what's the correct word is rice water?
It's rice and rose.
Rice and rose, yes.
Rice and rose water.
It makes my hair feel so good. No, I love it. Yeah.
Well, good. It's I mean, but the products are, I'm very, very excited about that. And I just want to expand it to styling products and all of that. So that's what I'm most passionate about right now in terms of, you know, of products or projects, I'd say.
I love that. Your grandson, Jules, we actually share the same birthday.
Really?
Yeah. That's how Andrew remembers my birthday. Because she's like, oh, you and Jules have the same birthday. Yeah.
And you got a very sweet demeanor like him, too. He's a sweetheart.
Yeah, I met him at one of the shows. Angie introduced us. And she's like, this your birthday twin. But yeah, I see that he is now modeling. How does that make you feel to see your grandson just like, he's in Paris, like doing the
he
big
just got back. He, I mean, he loves it.
Yes,
and I'm just so happy that he has found his thing. You know, he loves fashion, and he's working on a fashion line that is really good. It's a streetwear line.
Awesome.
And he's been working on it for the last couple of years. And so I think that's a natural progression for him to go into modeling. Yeah.
Absolutely, he's killing it. And when I saw him at Fashion Week last fall, I was like, okay, I see what we're doing here. Yeah, that's amazing. And then Blue Ivy took the world by storm during the Renaissance tour.
With her dancing.
I think I went to like 5 shows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, me and Ty, we went to the first 2 in Sweden, in Stockholm. And then I went again in Amsterdam.
Wow.
And then I went to like 3 shows in Atlanta.
See, he was keeping you from us because he came to the very first show.
Yes.
And I got to hang out with him. You were there?
Yeah, I was in the prayer circle for the very first show. Like I literally landed because I wasn't coming because I had to do. I was prepping to film.
Oh,
we were going back for Sisters, and because that was in May, like during the summer, going into summer. And he's like, "Chris, you not coming?" I was like, "No." So they the crew flew over there.
Yeah.
And he was like, I think Eva or somebody, he's like, see, Eva just went to my bathroom. He's like, if you were here, this would have never happened. Because they were on his jet. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he was like, can you please come? And I was like, all right. So his Jody booked me a flight to go.
That's so great.
And I landed, and they were Malcolm, head of security, was like, they're about to pray if you want to make the circle. So I was like running into their
ran into the prayer circle. I didn't know that. Yeah, that was that first show. I was still in that wardrobe room till the last second trying to get those clothes out.
Wow. So you still do that? Like you still
help well, what I do is on the last tour, Beyoncé said, well, I think that, you know, she had a short period of time, and she said, I want 2 stylists. And I said, you know, we're going to get 4 because we have such. So I actually found the stylists, put them together, managed it, gave them the budgets, and, you know, oversaw the whole project.
That's
so,
amazing.
yeah.
I love that you still.
But I still got to get in there and sew something sometime to make it fit or hem some pants or do whatever. Yeah. I love it though. It's fun.
I love that. Now, I remember you made a comment about, I think it was you, that you were kind of hesitant when they said that Blue was going to perform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't hesitant. Beyonce was hesitant.
B was, okay.
Yeah, and she was like Blue, because she just didn't want the pressure on her, because she knows what that brings.
Yes.
You know, and people are, you know, they can be very cruel, and she was like, I just don't want her to get caught up in this. I want her to decide on her own what she wants to do. And so Blue kept asking, because every day Blue rehearsed with all the dancers.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And I was like, she can do it. She is killing it. And then Beyonce said, okay, I'm going to let you do one city. I'll let you do Paris.
Yeah, wow.
And once she did it, that was supposed to be a one-time thing. You know, people were so evil and mean and saying all these comments. And so one of her friends told her about the comments. And it was such a life lesson for her because she was very upset about it. And her mom said, well, you know, you can let them win and you can just give up and say you'll never do it again. But if I were you, I would go work harder. And I would get out there and kill it and shut them up.
She did.
And she did that, just that.
You could see her
progression, right?
every single show. I was like,
right.
oh yeah.
She worked hard though.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Blue at the time was 11. And you know, most of the dancers are at least 20, 25, some of them 30. They've been doing this forever.
Yeah.
And they were amazed that she could keep up and learn the choreography and have her own little swag and her own style. She reminded me of Solange, because Solange did the same thing.
Really?
She started dancing with Destiny's Child when she was 13 because Kelly broke her toe.
Wow.
And when Kelly broke her toe, we were like, we can't stop the show. So I studied Kelly's whole boot.
I know, that's right.
And she sat on this studded stool and sung, and Solange danced for her in the same costume. So when she was 13, and I was so worried about her because I was like, she's only 13 and everybody's grown, and she got out there and kept up with them. Sometimes she'll cry. You know, she would be in high altitudes and say, I can't do this. And I'm like, yes, you can. Ooh. You signed up. You got to finish it.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, because that is my philosophy. You don't have to do anything, but if you sign up for it, you got to finish. You cannot quit.
Right. My daddy's always like that about food. He was like, get all you want, but eat all you get.
Eat all you get.
That's real.
right.
Like, if you're going to sign up for it, you have to go 100%.
You gotta keep it going.
Wow. And speaking of Solange has found her own voice.
Yes.
I love that because I've seen her evolution as well. And how proud does it make you to see like both of your daughters thriving in their own space?
I've always been proud of them, not only for show business, but just as being good human beings, and that's most important.
Absolutely.
But their success has been great to watch too, because they work so hard.
Yeah.
My girls work hard.
They do.
Nothing is given to them, so I'm proud of that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you ever like wake up some mornings and be like, wow, my kids are amazing. You know, like, because Beyonce is like one of the biggest superstars in the world.
For sure.
Like, do you ever wake up and be like, that came out of me?
Not really, but people say it to me all the time, and I have thought about it. But, again, I just feel so blessed to have the kids that I have, and Kelly too, because Kelly, that's my baby.
She's everything.
Because Kelly is the same. I mean, just the best work ethic, and the best person.
She
still remains the sweetest, kindest, generous person, and that's not easy. It's not easy in this business. That's why, again, I was so impressed that you want to do something called positive. Because this business can chew you up and spit you out.
It can, and
it
can
make it really hard.
Yes, it really can. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday just about how certain circumstances can really cause you to be guarded and almost make you cold and hard and mean.
To protect yourself.
Yes.
Because you have to protect yourself because, it's a lot of beasts out there, in this business. I was really scared, when the girls got in, and I became so involved in their careers, and people think it's because I'm a stage mother, but it was because I wanted to earn my keep, and I wanted to watch them and protect them because, it's a scary thing. To try to keep them grounded, saying, "Oh no, they can pick up their bags. Their hands not broken. Look people in the eye when you walk into a hotel. I don't care if it's 2:00 in the morning. That is a person. Treat them kind." So I was around to do those things,
That's amazing,
and I know that's why they have been able to stay. I'm not the only reason, but
a big part of it.
Part of it is just staying grounded, and somebody to pop you upside your head, not physically, but and let you know when you getting a little diva-dom going on.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's good. Everybody needs a Mama Tina like.
Yep.
Yeah. I have good people around me that say, all right, Oh, and that's one thing Tyler did instill in me, because when I was styling him, I didn't understand, because I wanted to be an actor, I wanted to sing,
Right.
and then he offers me this job, and I'm like, this is not what I was trying to do, Lord.
That is amazing.
Yes, but then I prayed about it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this.
You're saying the styling, he offered you the job to style.
Style, but I was
what a way into it.
Exactly.
Right? What
but
a
I
path.
didn't know that at first. I was just like, I
Really?
just said, God, just order my steps. Like, if this is what you want me to do, I'm gonna do it, and you will make room for whatever I really want to do, if that's in your will. And everything that I learned in those 5 years of being that close to Tyler have helped me.
Oh my God.
Like, literally step into the shoes I'm in today.
That's right.
Yeah.
The same with Angie. I feel like all that time of being around show business, and it was just tools that she can pull out because she knew how it went, you know, and so it was an easy transition.
It was. It's very
Yes.
evident when she's on set. She knows, even from hair. And the hair is so funny.
Well, yeah, the hair.
There's a whole thing that the hairstylist says, do not put no concealer on Angie's part. Because they came in there and tried to, she said, oh, what is that?
I don't want that. Oh, I know.
Angie had me cracking up. But she knows, because she's been around it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Even on set, she knows the camera. She knows
That's
how things
right.
are supposed to look. So it transitions onto set. And you
Yeah.
can tell that she's been around it all her
Yes.
life. Yeah, but she's still kind, still sweet, and grounded.
Yeah.
Like you say, she doesn't come in there acting like a diva.
Right.
And I feel like everyone that I've met, I haven't met Solange, but B, Kelly, and Angie, who all came under you, you can see this. So that's also a reflection of you and the things
Yes.
that you taught them, because even when you're not around, they are as sweet as can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well,
treat
thank
everybody
you.
good. Yeah,
I'm
so
happy
that's
to hear that
an ode
always.
to you. Yeah. No, for sure. Miss Tina, thank you so much.
Thank you. This was wonderful.
Yes, I appreciate you making time and stopping by. We do something at the end of our show called Positive Outcomes.
Okay.
So if you can hang out with me just for a
Yeah,
little bit
of
longer,
course.
this is where our listeners write in,
Uh-huh.
and we just give them a little advice.
Okay.
So this one says, hi, Crystal. I'm a 52-year-old mother of a 31-year-old son. I have 2 grandchildren who are 6 and 11. Our family loves hard and enjoys creating memories with one another. Long story short, I was a single mother raising my son while also taking care of my sickly parents for 19 years. In 2002, my father had a massive stroke, and I had a stroke 1 month later. Wow. We recuperated together. In 2008, I lost my father, but my mom remained with me, and we have some great years together, nurturing her to health emotionally and mentally because she loved and missed my dad. My mom battled with Parkinson's disease and did not walk for the last 11 years. God restored me by taking the best care of her until her death last November. Unfortunately, the last 3 years of my health declined because of the stress of working 40 to 50 hours a week, coming home to care for my mom, which sometimes had me up all night and having to repeat it the next day. Heart failure and my recovery plan has given me a fresh start, and I'm ready to start dating again. Do you have any dating tips that you can share? Well, girl, you asking the wrong person, because that part of my life is non-existent. Okay, I'm
don't
still trying to
believe
figure
that.
it out. Yeah, no, it is. It's really hard. And I think too, just knowing who the right people are and why they're in your life makes it harder for me.
Right. Yeah, and you're being discerning, which
Yes,
is
ma'am.
very good.
Yes, yes. But if you, I feel like, I didn't get your name, but if you are ready for a fresh start and you feel like you're ready to get back out there, I would, one, just pray that God opens your heart for the right person. You know, a lot of times when we haven't dated for a long time, we can be open to just anything. So I always say, like you said, discernment. Use your discernment and make sure the person is right for you. Spend time with people and date. I feel like a lot of times we meet one person and I'm like, oh, this is my husband.
Yep.
Like, no, date people to really kind of filter out the ones that are not for you and then decide, okay, I really like this person. What would you say, Miss Tina?
I agree with everything you said, and I think one of the things is that, you know, we talked about manifestation, and I think you got to manifest what you want and be very, very picky about it and pray for what you want. But also get out there and open your heart. You know, my best friend decided she was going to get her a man. She hadn't had a man in 15 years because she got divorced, and she told me within 6 months I'm going to have a man. I was like, yeah, right. She absolutely did, because she started opening herself up to it. She started going to social events. You know, after church, she didn't rush out. She tried to meet people. So she was just determined. And within 6 months, she had a really good man. Probably 4 months, she had a really good man.
Wow.
They've been married for now 8 years.
What?
And yeah,
Okay,
so you can manifest, but you got to get out there, because if you're just going to work and coming home, probably ain't gonna happen.
That's me. Like, is he gonna break into
Get
your
out
house?
there.
Right.
Oh, is he gonna break
Right.
your house?
I'm sorry. But like that's the ongoing
No,
joke. Like
I
Chris is like,
understand.
you don't leave the house. Like,
Right.
I'm like,
You can't. Yeah,
like, hey,
right.
are you here for me?
Yeah. Well, social events, volunteer. Now
Yeah.
that she's free,
That's good,
she can
too.
volunteer for some organizations. And what better way to meet somebody who cares about
Yeah.
people than in an organization that's
I love-
charitable?
that's so
I li-
true.
I think that's where I'm going.
I love that. So, okay, I know that's right. We can go to some charity events
That's right,
together.
that's right.
Listen, I told, it's probably like a month ago, I was in Miami and I was talking to a friend of mine and I was like, I am not spending another holiday by myself.
yourself.
And I was
Manifest.
like, literally, I said, God, you got it till July 4th to bring me
Ooh, that's quick.
And that's in a week.
Oh, so you're going to meet somebody this week. You're going to meet somebody this
We
week.
praying for it, Miss Tina.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, you're a beautiful, spiritual, talented young woman, and it's
you.
coming.
I feel it's coming.
Yeah.
It is. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Two of the last things we do is we ask our guests what I'm going through and what I'm growing through.
Okay.
Can you share with us something that you may be going through just to inspire people in this season?
I think what I'm going through is I've been going through losing my siblings.
Oh,
And that's a tough one, because it started off with 7 of us and now it's only 3.
yeah.
And I lost my brother a couple months ago. And all of a sudden it just hit me.
Yeah.
I'm 70 years old. I can't
you look
believe it. And well, thank you. But it comes that time. It's that time in my
Yes.
life, and that I'm going through it, and I'm growing through it, because what I decided is that the 2 that I have left, I'm going to make a lot of time
Yes,
for. And I'm going to spend the time with them, and not let so much time pass, because I've been negligent with trying to see my family, and now I'm sad because my brother's gone and I haven't spent as much time.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm growing through. It's just trying to pray and not be sad about it.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It is
It's
tough.
really tough.
Angie has shared with me about your brother.
Yeah.
And we said, and I was at her house one day, and I don't know what, maybe I was about to start a period or something, but she was showing me how on the video, like on the camera, that she can see him. And I literally just started crying.
Yeah.
And she's like, I was like, I was like, I'm sorry, but like just. No, even my dad is 71 now.
71.
71, and knowing that life is fleeting.
It is.
And like I want to spend as much time with him as I can,
Yeah.
And that and what she's going through has shown me I've got to make the most of these years.
You got to make the most of those years.
Yeah.
And like her dad is, I want to say he's like 77, but he's blind, and he has a lot of health issues. So he was just at my house yesterday.
Yeah.
That's how I'm growing, is to have him over Sunday.
I
We went
love
to
it.
jacuzzi and the pool, and we had barbecue, and and I'm gonna make the best of the time that I have left with them.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Miss
Thank
Tina.
you. This was wonderful.
Yes. So we do a thing called Keep It Blank, Sweetie.
Keep it blank.
Where we keep fill in the blank.
Right.
So I'm going to say, keep it pushing, sweetie. Because
Okay.
no matter what life throws at you, you just got to keep
That's
going.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
I
would you
love
fill in
that.
the blank?
I think I would say keep it moving, which is kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I like
just
that.
keep moving no matter what's going on in your life.
I love
This too shall pass.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love that. Thank you so much, Miss
All right,
Tina.
thank you.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Keep It Positive, Sweetie. If you want to write into our Positive Outcomes listener letter, you can write it into keepitpositivesweetie@gmail.com, and that's sweetie with an IE. You can follow me on all platforms at Love Crystal Renee, and that's LUV. Miss Tina, tell the people where they can find you.
On Instagram at Tina Knowles.
Yes. All right. Make sure you guys tap in with Miss Tina. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. In the meantime, in between time, you know what to do. Keep it positive, sweetie.